It shouldn't come as a surprise that I'm a big fan of Soundcore. Soundcore audio solutions have been great and I've been using them for many years. We're talking from over the ears, we're talking about in-ears, we're also talking about boombox. And of course, at the end of the day, what I love about them is their tuning and their experience when it comes down to dance, trance, EDM, bass-heavy content. This has always been one of my favorite buds to listen and to jam with. One of the biggest things that I love about them is the fact that they typically last very long, and this pair will not disappoint. This is the Liberty 4 NC, so this is the brand new Soundcore earbuds that are provided as not only long battery life, but great audio. We're gonna put them to the test, and I'm gonna give you my review. This is TK, let's go ahead and check them out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. Soundcore was very nice to be able to send me two different pairs. I have the two colors out of the 5, so that we have the black and the light blue, and then there's also a pink and a navy blue and a white one. So depending on your choice, you're not going to be disappointed. There's going to be a color available for you to pick from. One of the biggest things I'll probably say right out of the box, or at least in front of the box, we can see here that it does say high-res audio wireless solution. So LDAC is supported in here for some of the best audio representation. So as long as your device supports it, this is definitely going to be driving it there. The name of the actual buds are the Liberty 4 NC, noise cancellation, and of course is reducing noise by up to 98.5% from your environmental noise. And this is using a combination of in-ear solution by reducing the ambient sound, and also audio solutions to be able to also provide some of their new ANC 2.0 that they're putting in here. One of the other things that they're also touting is 10 hours of playtime per earbud, and up to 50-hour ear solution. And I will attest to this after using them for the last 2 weeks. I have I'll say this, I haven't been able to basically drain the entire battery on the buds and the case at any given time. And this is one of the big solutions that you need to enjoy. Long trips, long flights, this is going to be a must-have. Long-lasting earbuds that sound great are always a must. When we open up the box, we pretty much greet it with some obviously instruction manuals, information, a USB-C to C cable to be able to charge our device. This is also included in the box, and of course some replaceable ear tips that are provided for us. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that to confirm. And one of the things I'll probably say is I've replaced the buds or the tips that are on my earbuds directly with the largest size one, because those are the ones typically that will work for me. And of course, last but not least, is the actual buds themselves that were actually included inside of their case. They are magnetic, and I do apologize for the dust. I've been using them. This actually serves as the pairing button as well as the button to open up the case. So you just need to be aware that that light that's in here is actually a functional light. So if I press it, open it up and press and hold on this, it'll turn into pairing mode. Otherwise, if you haven't paired, it'll connect to the last paired device that they've connected to. And as we've said it before, reducing the noise, the ambient noise, of course, with their noise cancellation 2.0, the ability of basically getting adaptive environmental noise reduction that's going to be working with your ears. Crisp high-res audio with the 11mm drivers, those are going to be the ones provided on each ear tip, and of course up to 6 microphones to give us some of that clearest audio options. We'll definitely do a quick test of the microphones in a little bit, but again, 10 hours and 50 hours, and it's going to be a combination between the two. So 10 hours in single use, or you can put them back in the case, recharge, and up to 50 hours total with a full charged battery. And surprisingly, or actually conveniently also, this battery does charge wirelessly, so the back does have an actual ability of just putting it on a Qi charger and it will start charging your buds. Now, one of the things I really like about them as well is that we also have app support. Now, this is going to support both Android and iOS. There's not going to be a big difference. And it's pretty straightforward. When you open up the case, it'll automatically try to connect. You'll notice it's going to give us the light. And for the most part, it's going to connect directly back into our device. And we'll be able to go into the settings and start seeing some of the new features that we have in here. By default, when you don't have them in your ear, it's going to be in normal mode. Once I put them in my ear, it'll turn on either to noise cancellation or transparency mode. We have an indicator. I'll go ahead and bring this up a little bit so that it doesn't lose focus. We have an indicator for the case, the right and the left ear tip. And of course, we can see here that I've activated and actually turned on LDAC. There was one major update that did come through after I first got them, and that turned on the LDAC functionality. Otherwise, it wasn't turning on correctly for me. But one of the things I'll probably say is under sound effects, of course, we have the 3D surround sound, the ability of turning on spatial audio, and of course it will work with supported applications such as Amazon Music, 360 audio, depending on and Deezer, if I'm not mistaken. The Hear ID sound is going to be one of those solutions where it actually tunes the experience on these buds, and it does go through some type of customizations in there when you go through the testing option. It's very straightforward. You go through hearing test, you start by putting the tips in there, and then you start selecting when you are able to hear it. Custom EQ, very simple. You can customize your own EQ, go in there and set them up, or you can use the default surround, which enables you to actually use the presets that Soundcore has built in. There's the Soundcore Signature, the Acoustic, the Bass Boost, the Classic, all of the different things. And a Soundcore Signature will probably be one of your better solutions if you just want to use them straight out of the box. So really good, very simple, easy solutions for the sound effects. Safe volume is also one of those really nice things to be able to turn on, especially if you're giving this to, let's say, a child or somebody that typically likes to play these their music up to 100%. And this will let you basically customize it, and of course set the volume limit on the actual unit. Again, this will be very helpful for you to be able to use, especially with anybody that you're worried about playing the music at a very high volume. Now, the last option, of course, is the ability of understanding the controls that we have in here on per ear basis, and of course you can customize them. One thing I will say, the left ear will basically be playing the double press to previous, as opposed to where the right ear will be the double press. Let's go ahead and go back. It'll be double press to next. So to skip forward on a track, you double press, and this is going to be a touch sensitive functionality at the Soundcore logo on the top part of each ear tip. If you're using one ear tip or you're using both, your functionality will work depending on which one you're using. So single press, pause, basically start and play, that works the same on both ear tips. The triple press here is basically none on the left, and on the right side is also does none. You can customize those. Long press, you can turn on ambient sound, or you can also change it to basically turn on the normal transparency, basically native voice assistant, if you're supported one, like obviously the Assistant or Siri, depending on the device that you're using. Previous, volume plus, and of course you can customize different things. And that's one of the really cool things. So an example here, we can definitely put this to be volume down on the left, and on the right side, if I do triple press, it'll go volume up. The last thing I do want to share with you guys real quick before we go too far is under the settings tab. This is where you're able to turn on the sound leak compression, which allows you to basically help with a little bit of the sound if there is any leakage happening in there. The prompt tones, in case, you know, when you're putting them on, taking them off. Sound mode, you're able to go in there and customize it and turn on the LDAC functionality. By default, it is considered to be automatically going into combined audio connection quality. Now, the reason I'm showing this to you is because this actually supports multi-device or dual connections, and it allows you actually to connect it to multiple devices. Unfortunately, you're not able to use this functionality if you are using LDAC as the codec. So you are able to use it on the lower level, so probably SBC or AAC, but you're not able to use LDAC. LDAC will require more power, and therefore Soundcore has decided that if you're going to use LDAC, you need to connect it to one device. Otherwise, you need to pretty much downgrade the audio solution, use LDAC, and then you'll be able to enjoy that. The next one is the fit test to make sure that you're obviously using the right ear tips. This is going to be a quick, simple test that you can set up, and this is how you're able to figure out which one is the right one. Now, we have automatic turned off, find my device, update firmware help, and quick start guide in case you want to be able to check that out. And just by the way, the quick start will explain to you every single function that you have within this buds. So I went ahead and put the buds directly in my ear so that it actually activates the functionality. Again, there's three different options: transparency mode, normal mode, and noise cancellation. Normal mode does pretty much nothing as far as the cancellation, but what it does actually reduce the ambient experience, because for the most part, you're putting something that reduces amount of noise coming in. Transparency mode augments the audio by using the microphones, of course, the 6 microphones that we have in here. When you do turn on noise cancellation, there's a few options available when you go under mode. There is the adaptive noise cancellation that's by default set, and you're also able to turn on environmental detection, so just be a little bit more of the auto mode, and it'll listen into the environment, so as the noise in the area goes up, the ANC kicks up higher. You're able to turn on normal or manual mode, and this allows you to actually go from 1 all the way to level 5, which is maximum. The last one is, this is kind of like the environmental detection, except that it's more of a manual environmental detection. So if you know you're going to be on an airplane, a train, a bus, or a car, and that's the level of audio, you can jump between the different options, and it will adapt that option. If you want to just leave it in auto mode, this is going to be the best one. And if you want to kick it up a little bit higher, you could definitely turn that on there, and you'll notice right there, it'll start listening, and it'll allow itself to adjust to the environment that you're in. So keep in mind, this is going to be very customizable, and these options only turn on when you have them sitting in your ear. As far as the fit test, again, very small. The boom just needs to point directly towards your mouth, so just put them in, set them up, and just make sure that they're there, and it's very nice. The moment you put that on, or put them on, there's a little bit of a chime telling you how that it's activating, and then right away, you almost feel like somebody shut the world sound around you out, and it just reduces everything down ever so heavily, actually. And one of the things that I really enjoyed with doing this was the ability of taking these, and when I go with my son to the theme park, there's a lot of ambient noise. There's a lot of, even if you're not just listening to music, there's just a lot of noise being bombarded, not just from people being around you, but also from the roller coasters that are going to bombard with a lot of noise that essentially at the end of the day is just very loud and shouldn't be hitting our ears for any reason. And especially when you're at a theme park for an extended amount of time, you're going to be just in that environment for a long long time. So I used the noise cancellation for me at my theme park here in California, which is Magic Mountain, and it was absolutely fantastic. It did the job absolutely fantastic. Now, it doesn't eliminate all of the noises, but it brings down everything down to the level where it becomes so much easier to ignore and not actually be perturbed by all the sound around you. You're still able to basically hear the roller coasters and the loud noises, but to a certain level, it's almost like, for the lack of a better term, like putting basically two pillows on your ear and just reducing that much sound, so not as much is coming in. The audio performance on this it's like crazy good. It's one of the better solutions that we've seen from Soundcore, and it has never failed us. So with every pair of buds that they put out, they've always focused on the experience with the 11mm drivers, the microphones that we have in here, and of course the app integration to get the best functionality as we wanted. Now we're outside and we're going to do a quick audio test on the microphones on the brand new Liberty 4NC. The biggest difference here is I actually have them running on full noise cancellation at the highest level. And there's actually a little bit of wind behind me, and I hope you guys could see the little bit of leaves behind me. So the intention here is to share with you guys what the audio would be if, let's say, you're doing a video call or phone call using these buds on your smartphone. And of course, I'm testing it with the Pixel 7 Pro because this natively supports video recording with Bluetooth. I think Samsung devices do that as well, but with the sound going around, well, sorry, the wind going around and the sound showing up, I hope you guys are enjoying this and see how good the quality of the audio is from these microphones. Now, the noise cancellation that you heard in there was actually turned on at the same time as it was recording my audio. So the biggest thing I'll probably say is they're saying that it reduces up to 50 decibels of noise in the environment. It doesn't kill the entire sound, but it reduces it to the point where it becomes almost unnoticeable or just easily ignored. And I think that's the biggest solution here. If you're on phone calls, if you're in meetings, if you're trying to enjoy your music, if you're just trying to be in your own little personal zone, this is not going to disappoint. If you want spatial audio, this is not going to disappoint. LDAC support is put in here and of course gives us that high quality audio. Remember, if you're going to use the multi-profile, the ability of connecting it to multiple devices, you're going to be limited to AAC and SBC. And if your device does not support LDAC, unfortunately, it will default back to those two codecs. So just keep in mind, functionally, your system has to support LDAC. So just keep that in mind. So we have IPX4 for water resistance. So light water, splash on it, sweat, it's not going to be a problem. You can go for a workout. Everything's going to be great. The range on this is absolutely fantastic. Again, as I typically love to do, I leave my phone on my desk here, turn on the music and walk all around the house. Not an issue, not even a skip. The controls work great, ANC still works great, and what I love about them is it allows me to be free and not be connected to my phone all the time. So especially if I'm on a call and I need to step away, very, very nice. As far as the battery itself, we have 55 milliampere batteries in each earbud and up to 800, well, not up, an 800 milliampere battery in the case. And that's what's giving us that 10, basically 50 hours total. You're able to recharge this multiple times and gets you the experience where you just never have to have that anxiety of, are my buds gonna die on me? Because of the ANC, because of the audio experience that we're getting here and the tuning, and of course, just the overall drivers that we have in here and the audio that we have from Soundcore, you're definitely going to have to, I would say, just don't play it at the highest level. Enjoy the music and try not to damage your ears. At the end of the day, my recommendation would be, if you're looking for a pair of buds that sound great, that last forever, that provide you a great active noise cancellation with their new system, and of course, a personalized experience customized to your own hearing profile, the Soundcore Liberty 4NC are going to be the buds for you. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.